Okay, so Councillor, our topic for tonight, a very interesting one, says avoiding conflicts over domestic duties.
Yeah.
Councillor, answer no fire what, in your opinion, and I say what exactly is domestic duties, you know? Na yemfa bibia en shisha so nafi ye conflict kra free hono eba.
We are talking about avoiding conflicts over domestic duties. Domestic duties now bezam say daddy. Ne yekeka boma ne yeka efiadeyo. Efiadeyo no domestic duties. Things we need to do to be able to have our space together, our rooms together, our home together. Things we need to make sure to make the house beautiful and clean. And naturally say you can't domestic duties you can't say that wa be man wo ba be hwe be mefia ye kama.
Okay.
Adeyo be mefia ye kama no ani domestic duties.
And naturally say dem agudie no de enka domestic duties.
And also can ho beba and also can. Yeah, of course sex is a domestic responsibility.
Domestic duty.
In fact, it's a very serious one.
Right.
All right. So today we're talking about family. We are talking about avoiding conflicts over domestic duties. Naturally say ya me faswa enkoba se meni mikone me yere benya akasa akasa ya be ko ntokwa e wo de wose ye be mefia to yie what can I do to avoid all this conflict? What can I do to prevent myself and my partner fighting about the new maybe was ye yenye na yenti ase se odede.
Okay.
What will be so beautiful when you feel so butterflying, you feel so good.
Right.
You feel amazing. What told my son I'm having? Then call that day, but I'm sure you're nice. But who told over from you feel like the world belongs to you.
Right.
But once you start to encounter challenges, you feel like you are in the wrong hand. And so when we are talking about avoiding domestic conflict, we need to also understand that our dear one, your love must be tested. The growth of the marriage must be tested.
Right.
When your love towards each other, as you have confessed, is not tested, it cannot grow.
True.
And to me, be link yes is to say, mado wodie, odo me die ye pay ho pa, ya wade abedum pempen sui. Na enso ade ba akwa be ma argument, e be ma misunderstanding, e be ma ebi asem bi bubefu na meka kasentwi no wampe e ye fiade yo. Now let me say this. It takes two to build a home.
Right.
It doesn't just take one person. Nipa ba ku nchichira busia. Nipa bienu ye chichira busia. Ye chichira busia won ndamupe. Ye chichira busia so wo efiade yom.
Okay.
And so if we genuinely want to build a family, we want to have a good solid foundation for a family, we need to understand that to put the house together and in order, it takes the two. Now you need to understand that God created Adam first and then later created the woman Eve. Nevertheless, you need to understand that for them to be able to take care of the garden, God brought the two together.
Okay.
So in the wisdom of God, God said to them, said, replenish, cultivate, take care. In other words, whatever I have created, I am trusting it to the hands of the two.
Right.
Now, if we are talking about avoiding conflict over domestic duties, then you be cancer. Yan she ni anye ya yedo ye ho de na so if ya de yo de ntokwa bi beba. Anya wait ni beda ba akoso mo be cancer. Men kwa na me pra. Men kwa na bia me do. Men kwa na misie. Men kwa na me horo. Men kwa na me sebeshis. Men kwa do so it can actually bring stress, tiredness, and it can affect our affection. Let me say it again. Say, yawadi if you responsibilities, if you are the the domestic duties, say, a mood duo betoba ko persona wo brebi bra. Emma uhutumi yede. What do dear? But who he say? Won sa won nan anka betumi aboa me na oye hwe sa asa me nkwa me ya mabiri anadwo hwan ana nsem be ma mpa so kita wodie enti me adwuma ne de wusi wo hwe me and let me say this, Valerie. The most dangerous part of these domestic responsibilities or duties, and they say be mesiwo na wo yiri ye bibia na be ma ne ka kyen na mfo za me yire or my main yeshe, she does everything. Mikum, or my main yeshe, he does everything. Can I tell you this? In your sight, you might think that the other party is more romantic.
Right.
But the truth is that you are pushing them to leave you.
Okay.
So in marriage where other party does not support the house, work, the house responsibilities or domestic duties, just understand, the other party must understand that you are not being romantic. To be romantic is when you put your hands in the dirt, where you put your hands on the plate, where you put your hands in that work. As a matter of fact, the more we are able to deliver by sharing responsibilities, the more we can finish faster. Can two work together except they agree? Now, Mamika Bibi Valerie, for me, and I repeat, I'm talking like Paul in the Bible. For me, Paul to be Kasasa was a coming kwanka. For me, I don't believe that the Awadia we should share responsibilities.
Hey.
And I'm going to explain.
Okay.
For me, I'm saying for me. I don't know who is watching me and how. You see, people are different.
Right.
We'll be on in in the upbringing, this and year on the fire. But for me, DY Donkoh. For me, I don't think I will sit with my wife and say that if you do your check. The reason why I'm saying that is in the modern world today, where we want to build a solid family, we want to set an example for our children to not just to follow, but to learn from us. Please, so washing machine or Messi, I don't need to quarrel with her to push her to the wall and say that unu so ye kwadwini ba unu anye bia wansi onwa wansi a oyere wonwa anye bia wosi a meso me noa anye bia wosi noa ya meso me pra anye bia wo pra no ya meso mi tumi twetwe washroom Eti media baby amiti. So if you are talking about avoiding conflict over domestic duties, na me beka say entokwa beni. I don't understand why couples should be fighting over responsibilities. Oh, come on. You want to be romantic, work hard in the house. You win the heart of the other party. I'm telling you. Oversee a door. No jera bonten ehomia okase metemi kunso. Metemi yereso ana masoria. Me say take responsibilities in the house. Don't let somebody tell you that it was senior. Sorry, 5 o'clock. Make sure say the breakfast of your husband is prepared. No, you don't need it. Don't let somebody tell you. Do what is pleasing to the sight of the other party, and you have already won their hearts. Media conflict in the crowd, can be in the conflicts. Just say me why you should be fighting the other party over domestic duties. And I don't think we should share for me. So yeah, but 50-50 there. Now it's a marriage is contracts or marriage is a contract. Now I say you be no me yebi. But it's not about 50-50, it's about 100. It's about giving your all. You don't give half of it and hold on to the half. No, you don't do that. So, for me, if we are talking about avoiding conflict, then I'm saying that the only way to avoid is to open up yourself and do whatever you can do freely from a free heart. Don't allow this thing to bring problems in your house when you know your hand, by the grace of God, can touch it and do it. If you know you can mold it, why do you want to wait for a machine to come and do the work? So for me in my house, if something is not right, there was a form na me paper, it be a living room, it be a hall, it be a in your porch. I will just fetch water, go look for some omo, look, and thank God they say no way the mop no indi wachi. Uye wi a wakra a hoya fa e santi wanim. Ama wonu you do wo yiri nanim, uku nanim, ofere ishale me yere. Chale mi kundi oboa o. Chale the guy is something. So do we have men like this? E do shebo na sori anopa na je mamika bibi nchiro. Say wo ye fi, ufie ye fi. Ufi efi no. Na ko gina mpaebo ase anyame ntie mpaebo. I'm telling you, some wives who are prayerful should listen. Some men who think they are very spiritual. Don't be over spiritual when your house is dirty.
Okay.
Don't do that. Eti menya wo so yo Christiania, wo de oyem pa bofo de out atwa ye fasting, but wo dem aye time. It doesn't make sense. Enkwala ne hu fi omusua fi. Wo hia enkwala dodo ye fi a, efie ye fi. You don't need a mansion to make your home beautiful. You don't need it. Just make sure the little space you have. When no yere, yemienu me yere tie. Ye nche. Di obetumi aye, me so menye. For example, every week or 2 weeks, we want to put our house together. Ya check na watch no, enye adwuma no. Ya check bosome no, enye adwuma no. Ya check afe no, enye adwuma no. Iti Valerie, ya sori na yesi ifia. Gidigidio. One Saturday nobody is stepping out. O chi ana mi si ha. Mi si bedsheet no omo ha. Ye be wi ne fia efefefe. Ye wi akra ne adware ne asada. Is it not nice? And so for me, I personally think that when we talk about avoiding conflict, when it comes to domestic duties, couples should not even fight about this. From a willing heart, a free-minded heart, I think that the two of us should be able to build a home. I just said, see, a lot of men came to me and they complained that, Daddy, sometimes when you try to do a lot for a wife, some of them suddenly leave everything for you.
Right.
No, sir. Now or show. I say, we could do a romantical. And when I made sure baby, I say, Ukunji say, oh yeah, man, hand is I say, what did uguno? It doesn't make your husband romantic. So once a while you can leave it. Once a while, when the man sees that you are tired because of the kids you are raising, fine. But man, you are just so cool, job on the ball. It doesn't make the man romantic. It makes you a fool. So I was so buy ye be never fear. Now I want to go straight. The first thing you want to do when it comes to avoiding conflict is that please own the tax you love. Own it.
Okay.
The tax you love. So if you are the and I action, Valerie, then I be bra be pay. Me say be pay cleaning, be pay paboa paper, be pay washing. I am a hobby. Ujama be the whole day. I will do it without complaining. So when I say own the tax you love, I'm trying to say that some Muslim be chenswa, na mo pesa mo chenswa. Yam you yam boy hon komo na me bi musa se Valerie. Then I would to be your pa if you are there. Valerie say me mo de new mesi. Be form paper de jack. Say me ko to wi anu minim ye be che. Okay fine. And ye ya me meta fa new mesi. And I will fa new mesi. Me fe form. We are good to go. Sometimes people become lazy not because they are lazy, but they become lazy because what has been entrusted into their hands are things they can't do freely. They find it hard doing it, even though they know how to do it.
Right.
So, for example, if you talk about laundry, obi adisi eya osikura na de hetwitwa mojab ene ko de be call laundry na yesi amano etu busa na no so be ka kire se jacket ne mame be wo huru nchense o mu nyina ko so me be paduane.
Right.
So if I get to know your strength, I entrust your strength into your strength, knowing that once you are good at it, you deliver. What you can't do now can never be done later.
What you can't do now
can never be done later.
Can never be done later.
So I'll explain. Ya branti ansa na me wade. Na me ya baba wanso ansa na me wade. Na me nko ametene na me bɔ me brasen. Me ya branti am han dan. Na me tene na me nko am bɔ me brasen.
Right.
Iti na se me nko na ma renti dan na kwan be na fa so because nsuo. Be bu nsuo because nsuo.
Right.
Ti me busa me wo se den na me ye yansa na bi benya awade. De me ye yansa na bi benya awade no because ye sanse bi no me ye. Na me nko ameti hwana na paper for mama hwana na prepare dem mama entumi so ma say because renti na be travel 2 years am prada na ye sabi you sabi na me abo abeya eti whatever you cannot do now can never be done tomorrow. So we sit here to advise the youth that what you are doing, keep doing it, because when you marry it will increase as a responsibility. It won't sorry in term now tie sorry late. When a sorry in term to say 5, 4, because AM how much 3. So let me start from 3, 4, 5 before 6. Now they be out that sorry 10. Men can't them say me wade na me wa. Me to me a sorry 2. Ama me ban breast milk. One ya be dada kwada so. Because why? Situations has changed. And you need to learn how to adjust. So then I connected to understand that, hey, if I don't know how to do it once I get married, I need to understand that I am not here to enjoy love. What is a love without sacrifice? And what is a love without work? And so therefore, if you don't want to be lazy, for you to go back to your parents, learn to do something now. Because that thing must be surely done tomorrow. So want to be interested in say shebera sesa na mabewade na mebechichere busua dia ene na wonni mabusua chichere ye na wonte abraba ase nti wade ye den na is all wade so be act movie achire ye. No, you are serious. Oh, wade because you know you're going to raise family. So you need to understand that if you are disciplined today, it helps you to become more disciplined tomorrow.
Right.
It's say you need to own the tax you love. They will do.
Okay.
They will pay. Ultimately, can't them say if you are your back by tiny, I would me. And then I your back quadrufua, what Shannon pay do be.
All right.
Now you bear my quadrufua, Yamia do my one corner and out to the dead abaco. Now listen, the reason and the essence of service is to be served or to serve.
Okay.
It me some me papa, me some me uncle, me some will be, even me mamma cherebe was summa, cause some what I miss some me rana me could. Asan some member, me must be some me dachi, no ma custom, till life is about service.
Right.
It me pacho, opesi will be you don't need conflict. Anyway, if you think that we need to share, then we are saying that couples should sit and ask each other, then I'll pay you. It is the kind when it comes to avoiding conflicts in your relationship or marriage. I mean, domestic responsibilities or duties. Number one, own the tax you love.
Own the tax you love.
Own it. So avoiding conflicts over domestic duties, number one. Own the tax you love. Number two, consider each other's schedules.
Okay.
Consider it. Eya to na bia pese ya de ofia na me bebuza say next Saturday ba ko no okwa yi na wonko. The person is not just intentionally avoiding responsibilities. But let me consider his or her schedules. Then I realize that Sanu will be in term why and Jam boy and then no see the other na menye. Na another time on sunya kwanya or non kwaye. Nempo valabi me can be say and then one yana me yen or chana me sa boa na ya I am. Are we not building the family?
Yeah.
So why do we want to do it like duty rooster? And they go like last week na me ye. Now you are not quite to this week and then I relax. No, you don't. I don't need that. A good gentleman, a good woman doesn't need that. And so we are saying that consider each other's schedules when it comes to avoiding conflict in domestic responsibilities or duties. It's the abeni. Nyambi aduman next week you be CCF. So no make class, be a weekend class, which you know. So no can be see a come mama. Let's talk about it. You be call one, you be trefi, and you be a human, you we are near co, and you be any abre, so you enjoy uncle. Okay, walk. Call my or me will fee. Two cornea business and other than anaya wamba. Other than Kusiamba. Oh, sorry. Oh, fee or shankala yard. Beautiful.
Right.
So, whenever we want to avoid some of this conflict, please let's consider the other party's time. Okay. The availability. So, oyoki. Obeti, I know Ebukra, you start your pentamako party. Wedding, you know, weekends and your messy.
Yeah, no crazy.
So, Obeko baby, Naka say, Yen Pepe Fio de Udia, on to me. Do you can when you are my buff? I because we're just human goose to know. So, let's talk about it and consider each other's schedules. Number three, act decisively.
Okay.
In other words, make up your mind that look, the two of us, we've spoken about this and we are going to tackle it according to the decision. And say ya paper former a dinosaur you chim too. We are decisive. We are going for it. So that to be like back yes, me them the house no me them a bro. Me them go to me sister that they read that me them when my bro even one ocean kromo. Esa back no ubuna pe. There be please act decisively. Once you accept we are doing it, we are going for it. So that one party will not be discouraged by your attitude and by your words.
Okay.
Let's move on. Avoiding conflicts over domestic duties. Please accept that each person may have their own unique way of doing things. Accept it. So let's understand that if we want to avoid conflict over domestic duties in marriage, as will be an adeyo. But ni na ya de na.
Right.
It is a basa manya no senya na wo pe no but me ya but oni so.
Okay.
And yes, it will create conflict.
Okay.
It's going to create problems.
Right.
I hope you understand.
Yes, sir.
And so me person me tell you say form na paper. Also person dey bop you say form na paper. And the to me what is your problem? So that it doesn't create any problem for us.
Right.
Conflict for us. It we are from different parts of the world. Different angles, different community, different parents. So when you want to avoid conflict over domestic duties in marriage, understand that everybody has a way of doing things, yet it will be done. So once somebody can execute the plan, do the work, the rest, you don't need to complain. Don't complain, say, why and you say, no, come why. So when it comes to avoiding conflicts over domestic duties, we are here to say that, please, accept and understand that everybody has a unique way of doing things. That is, don't expect your partner to be able to read your mind when it comes to house duties.
Okay.
When it comes to avoiding conflicts over domestic responsibilities or duties, please don't ever in your life expect your partner to be able to read your mind. If you want them to do something, have a conversation. Don't just get angry that they didn't do it the way you wanted it. So, Valerie, let's understand this. Say me jina wodi na auto bed sheet na me jina bedroom auto bed sheet. Me anka make kanshim. Make kanshim na senya hotel for ye no. Awu Valerie no. Ujeguso. Ujeguso.
Ye pentamada.
But they correct.
Correct.
Na ma yedi na me jina so ye na kwa juru bi se de tompa. Me dey twon na me ye dey say akoso sa afiade yo. Dabi, I will not assume that you must know what is in my mind. If I think you are not doing it well and I want you to do it my way, I can explain it. I should have conversation with you, healthy one, and go like Valerie. I am no tompa. Now this is say hotel there na. I know na bepe. Oh sir, but don't stand there and go like, where we? Into where we need? Where we on? When? Now if I call you, I saw now where you mapa. Obia employer.
Right.
This is your husband. This is your wife. Please don't expect anybody to read your mind. Avoid this conflict. Because Sani Oma ye can bear shit in Tokwa Beba. We be Jonsa won flash. I just said we pupu. Wako nature's call. Sister and some person or no Jonsa ya flash. Cratching is a waste of water. Don't expect me to read your mind.
Right.
If you think you don't like it, talk about it. Brush ye the yichi yesi. Between the chin is son and the brush and I say woman.
Right.
One woman.
Brush
and what tally tabrem.
My God.
TV guy in this room. What would you make it? Brush and tablem.
Right.
Maybe who say I am a time. So what I do is that I don't talk about it. But ye, no mako to a gunami amako shop. Na ma top box na be dia befi to obeba kra na ma sesa brush no
right
wa o de twetwe senako
right
obi so to brush anu aye tabamu hu ana ado we krasini avoid this conflict right. So for me, please, if you really want to avoid marital conflict when it comes to domestic responsibilities or duties, don't expect your partner to read your mind. Thank you.